Madame Odé Marie-Beth, Benjo Charlotte, on sait. Solange. I love you. Hey. Mon amour, I love you. Hey. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. J'ai ton amour. L'obéio, dis-moi. Ah oui, ah yeah. I love you, yeah. Mon bébé, I love you, yeah. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. J'ai ton amour, oh. L'obéio, dis-moi. Ah oui, oh yeah. Aisha Faraboué, Benedict, yes, je sais votre musique, je l'ai bien compris. Elodie, la blanche. My darling, I love you. Hey, you. Mi querida, te quiero. Sí, you. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. J'ai ton amour. Oh, dis-moi. Ah oui, yeah.
Good evening, good evening. What a beautiful song from neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire in the interest of African solidarity. We said we are traditionalists and we like to keep a fair balance and play those nice traditional songs because, too much of our restrictions on the songs, and sometimes we get a strike on those songs. So that's the reason. But if you are Liberians, and of course you have some nice traditional song from your regions, just let us know as well. Definitely, we're going to play them here, right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. I'm your host, the presenter, the anchor here this evening, Tafonso and Sword, and all we're going to talk about is Liberia, the good of our country, how all of us, not just on our national government or even the opposition, we citizens do have a shared responsibility in making sure our country is okay. Fidel Tajo, good evening, welcome for us in 1 year. Thank you so much. Lavocho, or what? Emma Common, thank you so much for joining us here at Bet Noah. Ayobua Kosia, I hope I'm calling this name here. I hate for to call my name too wrongly, but whatever I just bear with me. Zord, Mayot, Orito, Trot, Ali Yokromai. We say good evening. Thank you so much for joining us, wherever you are, this morning, evening, afternoon, depending on your location. We say we're good to have you here. Do us a favor by sharing this live program with someone so that you invite someone at your company. And please, we're going to be putting the number out here this evening. Let us all participate. Let us have these critical conversations for the good of our country, not necessarily to what we for us because of our different political affiliation, but for the good of the country. When that is done, then everybody will be benefited, not just only to individuals. Unfortunately, this is not the case for the most part, and so you will always have people to say what they want to say of their own. But notwithstanding, we have these conversations going to Washington. Oh, okay, no one's Washington, Cedar Rapids. That's in Des Moines. That's in Iowa. Actually, Cedar Rapids is beyond Des Moines. I believe I've been to Cedar Rapids before, or Waterloo, one of those cities. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You can follow, you can subscribe to Rachel. Do we say thank you so much? Here comes Mr. Bengo. Hey, is our prime-time regular follower. I know a lot of people have been calling. Apparently, it seems their notification trickles. So it's one of the reasons for sometimes they are not getting to the live view. So you have to go back there to do it. What we want to say, good evening and welcome. This is the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio. Welcome to the show. Denver, Colorado.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am Alfonso Zienso, and this is today's editions of LPR-TV Live with the panelists. The panelists are here in full to discuss, dissect, and critical issues affecting our country. Welcome to the show. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio in collaboration with the panelists. They are here in full. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, good evening, good morning. I am your host, your presenter. Welcome to Reverend Bagbat here, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Dams, it's good to have you here. And Clarence Davis, good to have you here. All of you great people. Without you, trust me, we cannot do this because I'm not going to sit and be talking by myself here. It's like someone is going insane. So it is because of you, your courage, your convictions, the love of your country, all of that tie in. This is the reason, no matter how tired, fatigue, well, all the time we can put our own 18, 16 hours to work. But that's the commitment. We need to have these conversations, regardless how it would turn out to be. Whether it is to your dissatisfaction, because perhaps we are not saying words, we are not saying things that suit your political taste. But the bottom line is we are having conversations about our country. That is key. That is important. And for this network, our ultimate goal is to have all. We intend not to leave no one behind. Remember the slogans of George Bush, your education stuff? Our man says he's going to tell more about that. We do not intend to leave no one behind. So regardless of their voice or voices or their talking point, we don't sanction voices on this network. We don't chastise people because of their own political views and opinion. It is about our country. It's not about me. You can challenge and disagree with all of the analysts here. All we require, this conversation must be done in the safer context. That's the room. This is why the Civil War, you see them going to conferences and sitting down. Why? Because there will be people who have different views on whatever conversation they're going to be, but they sit down, they organize, they navigate, they go through A and see what is applicable, what is a short term, there's a long term, and all of that, and they ultimately find the solutions. Well, he's here. Hey, he's a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. He's based in Minneapolis. Legendary Sissit Goyo. He is blowing the trumpet of Ambassador Joseph Newman to Boyka, the president-elect. I don't blame him. Who doesn't want to sit down with the king? Who doesn't want to be on the king table? So you see this guy that be talking, oh, I'm talking this thing, yeah, doing that for the country. Please give me a break. What kind of country? You come first, then country come. But there are some honest, there are some genuine ones that I know they can accommodate because they will say it as it is. And that's the problem that we have. People always want to say something to appease them because they don't want to get the other side of it. Let me break in, Sissy. I'm not going to be like a Liberia who will come and talk tabata and everybody's sitting and posting no he, no te, just all over the place. I do not intend to be like him. And this is why we will always call him out. So let me bring in Sister Guaya is a senior analyst, a scholar, educator. His passion is in the field of education. And I think this is where we need to direct our focus now if we want to be a good asset to the country, to the government. We can always look at bamboo pie, you might the ugliness of the bamboo you were killing. So the bamboo, whatever we say wasn't working, okay, something else is in place. Can we find those bread and butter cardinal issues, challenges facing the country to have a civil conversation? Let me bring in Cesar here, and we're going to get a ball rolling. If you are just joining us, this is LPR. Welcome, Hans Rose Belbet, right here in neighboring to Worcester, Massachusetts. Is the retired, one of the strong ladies in our community here. We need to start having some honoring program for people who has given back. And this Cesar, that's one of the bad things in our community. I don't know. All these things people doing, other people, they will never tell you thank you. As soon you fall down, then they will put their hand behind them with their japo shares and things. Then one of them said, death is a disgrace. So when you're lying down there now, where you're stuck there, no movement, no range of motion, nothing can be a minister. They say, oh man, go, life goes on. Okay, so good evening, welcome.
Hey, how are you doing, Mr. So?
Yeah. A lot of this. What about what's the avenue again?
Oh, which one? The Sanction Avenue or the Boulevard? Because the own transitional Boulevard,
You sure you want to live on Sanction Avenue?
northeast. It's a northeastern side of the Sanction Avenue, man. They didn't reach to that side.
Okay. Okay. How I say it? How is your Friday so far?
Oh man, Friday has been a little bit better. You can tell from my voice.
Yeah. The voice is
out.
really doing us a favor.
I went to see my doctor today. You know, as you get older now, you gotta go see those people every time. So as it turns out, it's just my allergies. I got some fluid behind my ears, so they prescribed some.
Oh boy.
Yeah, some pills for me.
Oh wait, I care you try to be okay when you go there. They gotta find some kind of thing. What's these people problem? They gotta dig some kind of thing out of you because this is a big money making industry too. Yes, it's life saving, but you can't go there and can't have free, man. They gotta take something out of you.
The book at LA Mechanics, you go for Jeff for them to check your headlight. They say, "Oh, we gotta change your 4 tire," and the other one about it.
In fact, look at it. They light on here. Your brakes not good. Oh, you need to highlight. You know what? Just do what I brought here to handle it, and we can do it. Okay, man. Too much is ongoing here. We've got to create some sort of open mic conversation here, but a lot is going on here. I think social media. I have an excerpt of the president-elect interview with the VOA. We're going to be doing the audio sessions. There seems to be a pattern here, consistency here in his talking point. He still maintains his 100 day, and I think more or less vocal coming out of declaring ourselves. And I think this is the key thing here. This is how a leader sets a standard. We're just waiting whether the implementation aspect will be fulfilled, whether it will be practicalized. That's what I'm looking for. But the initial conversation of this whole thing, that seems to be good. That seems to be okay, because then people that are coming on board, you are the leader. When you lead, they follow you. But when the leader falls behind, trust me, everybody gonna be like a cowboy and do like, oh, you know what? This whole train here is disorganized. But let's check in your folder here now. Let's see here. What is the training issue? What is so concerned with happening right now? We'll come and get next month is what? January, right? Today is what? December 22nd? Wow. So in the next couple of weeks, can you imagine you used to be like a minister or director, people opening your door, and then all of a sudden, before you get to end of January,
changing of the guards.
Yeah, and then you can go, and you know the children and the children probably not even know why my papa you're not going to work today. So when they ask you that question, what do you say?
Well, when they're trying to do a benefit now, because so many people will spend more time home with their families now. You don't get enough money now, so
you're not correct.
I just look at it from the positive side. Now you say, "But Daddy knows to go to my game, and I every day. I mean, I pick what you're playing game. The man now, all those side check about the transition, because the economy, it's like a stock market. You don't have enough money anymore to buy shares. The highest bidder get a share. So God are changing over. The guys are changing over. So most of them married women are about to be very happy. Their husbands are about to become a lot more committed. So I see good thing happening in Liberian households. That's how I see it.
Sissy. Seriously? Yeah, this guy, you're something else. Okay, all right. So
somebody come from you on that one before the show.
Yeah, you're accelerating too hard now. Okay, but let's enough of the sleeping elephant is out now. Seeing a lot of engagement out there on the stage, meeting a lot of people. But something is capturing my attention here. I think it is becoming more glaring and glaring. Potentially, I could be wrong, but Senator-elect Amara Conant could be one of the front, could get much closer to the president-elect. Because the thing about it too, you have to get somebody who the outside people confide in trust, they can do something with connections in society. It's every part of the world is very key. It is very much important. You see Sylvester Grispris and all of these people being the diplomat, foreign field for quite a long time here. But I think Amara here now seems to be like or is he positioning himself for something unknown in the long term that we don't know? Those are the two calculations. I like to get ahead of the game here, because he's been more visible, having this meeting, having this, and too much is ongoing. These symptoms, you are being the politicians, we want to move here and there here. There's something seems to been going on. Amara is aiming at. I mean, with the senatorial thing, is cool. He's already a senator. Maybe if the president like needs more help to say, you know what, I want you to be my finance minister. I want you to be a chief diplomat or whatever. But I think he's thinking beyond what is right now. He's cool with it. Is that normal for a politician? Is what he's doing right now, or something else behind the curtain that we need to know?
Well, if I were Amara, that's the best game. That's the best game you can play. If he has a long game for the presidency, like some people are rumoring, then that is the right way to position himself. Mind you, he was a part of the quote unquote breakaway faction that didn't support Joseph Boakai the last time. So he has an extra reason to be out there more, to try to make sure that he let the president-elect know that, you know, bygones are bygones and they've been done. But I think though, from the end of the president-elect and his team, I think that's the best person they could have brought with them. And I think well, I hope that the group that brought the Joseph Boakai to power will understand, like DeLong tried to say one time, there are different tools for different tasks. You don't just use hammer you don't use hammer on everything, right? There are some things you use screwdrivers on, some things you use hammer, and it is the time to use Amara Kone, because think about it, you're coming to the United States. Amara Kone has been here. Look at the two places they went. They went to the World Bank, right, in DC, and the IMF. Those are places that Amara has worked. He knows how to open doors in those places. You bring a DeLong or a Yombly who have done marvelous work, who did a lot of heavy lifting for this campaign. They will not be able to open that much door with that much ease. They might do it, but it will require going through this person, that person, that person.
Yeah, you're going to be going through third party, get their own authority.
So why not use the person with a direct connect? Amara has been in these circles before when he was finance minister. So he still has that roller deck, you know, that he can stay flip open and make some calls. So I think this was the best use of Amara Kone. And I think if you look at it like from what DeLong talked about, that they're using different tools for different reasons, and that would be the best thing to do.
So obviously he's coming to the States is within this with the acquiescence of the presidency, like, because I don't think that was just a normal visit. Those were conversations held behind the scenes off camera. You think so?
Oh yeah, and that is why he's deeply inserted in the activities of the president-elect. If he had come unbeknownst to them, I don't think it's going to be as easy for him to get in. But mind you, Amara also has his own agenda. As a matter of fact, he's in Minnesota tonight. Tomorrow he's having a town hall meeting here in Minnesota. He's supposed to be meeting with OLM leadership tomorrow before meeting with the community. So he's also going around meeting with Bapaloo citizens in the larger cities, the cities that have the highest population of Liberians. He was in Pennsylvania, and now he's coming to Minnesota. So he too has his own thing about reaching out to his constituents, even though they might be in the diaspora. So I think he's killing multiple birds with one stone.
What groundwork is he laying? When you see politicians now doing this sort of thing, it's not a normal thing. There is a long term, or there is something that he's trying to lay out. Here, look, I just don't want to confine myself as a senator to Bapaloo. Bapaloo is a small county. It's the newest. County, but the name Admiral Corner is being in the cycle. He works, I've said, as former Minister of Finance and all of that. But his speed right now is just, I try to wrap myself around it. I think it's beyond the senatorial thing and just only not just only helping Ambassador Boyka, but he's trying to solidify his long-term political grip now, so that he won't struggle or there will be no much introductions in case he decides, because people are going to reflect on him. We saw the critical role he plays during the elections and all of that. I think he's building a long-term grand coalition for himself. Is that fair to say?
Well, I mean, I don't like to, I don't want to speculate on that, but if I were going to venture into it, America would be, if his vision is for the presidency, then this is the right pathway he's taking, to go through the Senate before going to the presidency, instead of what a lot of people do ill-advised. They just run directly, I want to be president. Because now he's building a constituency. He's building a following, just like DeLong managed to build a following. And if you see what he's doing, he's actively engaging on Facebook also with people.
Right.
And so he's building that coalition of the willing, so to speak. And if Emma were to say, try to compete for the presidency in 2029, there is one advantage he has that the other heavy hitters that people are talking about don't have. That one advantage is, if he loses, he will still have a job.
Yeah.
Mind you, his seat is not going to be up in 2029. DeLong's seat as a senator is going to be up. So he either runs as a senator or he runs as president if he wants to. If that's, I'm not saying that's what he's going to do. I haven't spoken to Senator DeLong. I'm not speaking for him, but I'm just saying, if that is DeLong's vision, then one thing got to give. Same thing with Yombli Kanga, something have to give. Same thing with Snow, something has to give. And those are the people whose name have been out there in the Senate that look like they could be potential president or vice presidential candidates. And so for an Amara Kone, I think he'll be well placed. If he loses, he still has a seat. For other people, it has to be, you take it, you win, you take it, you lose. So if you don't win, you're going by your business. So,
okay. This seems to be all Minnesota affairs here this evening for whatever reason. Hopefully, I guess somebody, my man from Denver, Colorado, somebody need to come and rescue me here, because the Minnesota politicians, the Liberal has managed to recruit massively the Minnesota politicians, and they are all moving in his directions. Let's welcome our senior political commentator, Tara Collins. Is also based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and a strong supporter of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka. These guys, every day they changing seats, different letters, chair, different suits, and stuff like that. Man, when you get there, you let us know, not because we'll be asking so us out down quite well, you don't mind. So, Tara, good evening, welcome.
Yeah, man, good evening, Mr. So, and to senior brother Cisse, good evening as well.
Yeah, look, thank you guys so much. This thing is more than a job, you know. My son was asking, Daddy, do you get paid? Do you get paid? I said, you're asking all kinds of, yes, I can get paid. Yeah, that's a work. I say, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna pay out soon.
It's not easy, because we got to do this, because too much is ongoing. If we all say, you know what, Mr. A is saying this side and so on, second tire, we'll leave it, then we are not doing service. There are so many ways we have been called to provide services to our country. So how is the Friday so far, Terry?
Oh yeah, the Friday is as Friday as always. Nothing new, nothing. The web book and say same old, same old.
Yeah. I saw some kind of list leak out with me, yeah, and I mean, it's a lot of
I'll come and say it to myself, but
yeah.
Your name on the list?
No, it was in the CDC chat room. Your name on the list, Terry?
No, man.
So why were you boys CDC chat room? You come on working to the thing. I want to say, why you come with CDC? You see. You guys for the strategy, he did it on purpose, because what he tried to uncall what I want to say. He knows that. Why were you called? Why you my CDC? CDC take care of child room.
They simply the part chat came from, so they want to just come.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Terry, good to have you here. You can also choose to bring up what are talking points, a lot of stuff waving out there. I don't usually the social media, anybody can post to be anybody to be anything, unless if it comes from some sort of credible print media and stuff like that. But I've been following, I've listened over and over, and we're going to play essence of it. The president-elect speech, he seems to be consistent in terms of things that he has said, you know, what he's going to do, and the kind of government. I think he's setting a very high standard here. But let me just bring you in here. What is your own feeling so far, seeing what is happening, what is playing out, and we're just profiling Amara Conan. This thing here, I don't think that just Senator Business Amara Conan after now. He got a job already. I don't think that just only helping ambassador to boycott, like he alluded, he said he's going to be doing. There is potentially there is something much longer that at some point in time we'll get a note. And in everything, preparations is very key. So I like what he's doing, whether we against it or not, but he's projecting himself. He's kind of like making himself visible, going to this place, having this town hall meeting. That worker been there, worker government will be that. Is sure that what the Amara men offer, or there's something else that we need to know?
Surely, Mr. So, looking at it myself, I'm kind of thinking, because I'm seeing Amara in very close proximity to the president-elect. And that is not an ordinary position every time to be in, with pictures and all that, and laughing and telling people that, you know, what me and the papi were talking, you got to pay to hear it and all those kind of things. At this crucial time, first of all, almost like something that they talk about. The papi left, then later on, Amara Conan left and came to the States. Will you tell me that it's a coincidence for the both of them to be meeting in DC, taking pictures together and all of that? I doubt it. That is not a coincidence. All right. I think because everybody's eyes were on Amara in Liberia, he had to distance himself for a little bit, only to come to America, and then they rejuvenated even stronger than before. But I'm looking, you know, there's a story in the Bible wherein there were other guys that were complaining of other guys who came, who were working, they worked in the vineyard of the master, and they were there for a long period of time. But then the other guys who came late or very late, almost to the end of the finishing work, they worked and they also received the same pay to the master. So they got angry. They said, but why we who came first got the same pay to the people who came last? You know, and the Bible always talk about the last shall be the first and the first shall be the last. So we see that kind of I see that kind of a scenario playing out here. Looking at it, I want to also believe that Amara Conan want to pay back. He want to pay back. He feels to himself that
I love that war.
Yeah.
And it's typical. Sister knows that politicians, they don't do anything for nothing. There is some sort of long-term investment, and they need some sort of payback. Yeah.
And I think the best place he feels that he can thrive with his talent and his gift is at the finance ministry. I think he want to go back and prove to Samuel 12 that, hey, dude, this is not your era. You know, he want to claim over Samuel 12 and dismantle all the things that he set up there, that he's going to be boasting over in the next coming years to come. I think Amara Conan want to do that, and I really think that he want to go back to the finance ministry. I don't think that Bapolu job is his era. I don't think that senatorial position is really going to work for him the way he really want to do it, because to me that is just an opportunity, but I don't think that is his era where he have passion, where he feel he can work. I also think he want to rectify some error he made during his time at the finance ministry. I think this could be an opportunity for him to rectify the mistakes he made in the past, because his name came up and there were a lot of things that went down under Madam Sirleaf. So I think he want to fix that.
Sissy, Terry is talking something interesting yet. Amara wants to be, no one is infallible. We are all human beings, and he's no exception. But seeing where the country is coming from, we do not know yet. We are hearing whatever a lot of things playing out there, but we want to wait and see the turnover note exactly how it's going to be like. Based on what Terry is saying and the closeness of this guy from Guapolo, first of all, he was very strategic, and that's why every sound human being, you got to know your potential, your limitations, or where you can go to succeed. Initially, we all felt he hit Moserado County, but he found out Moserado County was hard. This ground here, it looked like some sort of Sabibo land. There will be a lot of yobo going to be going on. Swear, he went to Guapolo, and he was just doing his own thing there, moving around, and it just be out here. Do you think Amara is aiming at the ministerial positions where he thinks he's going to be more effective, the Ministry of Finance? That's a key aspect to the success of the incoming government. Seeing what is happening now, and the people that he introduced into the incoming government, could that also be an influential aspect to say, hey, this guy, he's one of us. He knows the system. He can navigate. And it's been proven. Seeing the kind of people the president-elect is both meetings. I'm quite sure in some time to come, we want to get details of these conferences, these meetings that they have been holding at some point in time, maybe in his inaugural speech to unfold that package. Do you think is in that direction? Amara more or less trying to venture?
Nah, Amara is a very smart person. It will be a political mess for him.
What are you talking about?
But you ask a question. For him to trade a 9-year guaranteed job in a country, and I know you will say here in America people do that to representatives. That's because after you leave, you have jobs option in the private sector. So people can leave their elected position and take cabinet positions. You can't do that in Liberia. Got to guarantee 9 years. You're gonna go for somebody's will and pleasure, and more besides. If you listen to Amara Kone, this relationship between him and Joseph Boakai didn't just start after the first round. Amara said that Boakai promised him, the Unity Party promised him they were not going to run any candidate against him in Bapolu, and it didn't. So this has been a relationship that they've been building for a long time. Unity Party did not feel any candidate against Amara Kone because right. that was an agreement that they had. So Amara Kone is wanting to be an influential senator. Look, you can be in the Senate, and not all senators are equal in the Senate. Some people have the president here. And that is what Amara Kone wants to be. That person that has the president here, just like Delon will be, just like Yombli will be. Because mind you, you get a lot of your agenda passed if you have a strong connection with the executive. Because you could pass a law and the executive could veto it. You could spend years or months arguing about things, and the executive could, in Liberia, bribe other people to just Waterloo it. But if you have a vision and you have an executive that listens to you, it's very easy for you to get your ideas through. So I don't buy for 1 second that Amara will go be minister of finance. Darius DeLong in the Senate had more power. He was opening up a lot of things, holding hearings, making sure that Brimpo knew who was doing all these roadmap and craft and thing without being the minister. So I think Amara Kone will be well placed to stay trash out all of the mess that our man, the pocket dictionary economist did by just holding hearings and bringing experts. But I think Amara is wishing and he's hoping and he's laying the groundwork to be a powerful senator that has the ears of the executive. I would not advise Amara Kone, I don't even think he's thinking about it, to leave his elected position and go be Minister of Finance.
You politicians, there are a lot of uncertainty with politicians. Their decisions all were full of surprises and bizarre one. If he did, what could that suggest? What would that mean to you for discussion purposes? If he decided to say, you know what, and usually when those things happen, they tie in with national cause. I'm still the senator. I know the people of Buffalo, but Republic of Liberia is much bigger than Buffalo. We have tax here. The president has asked me, I do not want to deny a call from a sitting president when a country is in desperation to read working its financial capability to go out there, because more or less he will be a direct ambassador to the president, negotiating with his financials, big financial institutions, which he privileged to work in some of them, which will still be a beneficiary to the country. So how will you argue that?
Lucille Camara was Minister of Finance. He can still be Minister of Finance. If Amara Kone made that kind of speech, I would laugh at him. I would think he doesn't understand the importance of being a senator. I would really say that he fought on himself, thinking that he's the only person that can rescue the Liberia financial sector. Therefore, he has to leave an elected position in a country where, when you get dismissed by the presidency, you don't have another option to go back into the private sector to find a job. I would straight out tell him to his face that he's full of it, that he thinks that he's the only person that can rescue the Liberia financial sector.
So, Terry, what exactly he's not is indirectly telling you now, Terry Fuller, that I'm right here going to now. So I want to give you the opportunity to respond, because you initiated this here. Now, this guy, there's a way he always tried to put a guy, his own man, then, you know, with him to catch your own baby. So, and I told you guys, but you never listened to me. Now, he has reinvented the wheel. Say what Terry is saying, I don't agree with it, but he's using Amara's name to be the guy now, to be the talking point. You want to respond to that?
Well, certainly, actually, I know, yeah, but that's his view and all that. I respect it a lot. But looking at things from my view and from my observation, we can't rule that out. First of all, we got to understand that Amara is Americanized. Take, for example, look at Jeremiah Kuhn. Jeremiah Kuhn just won a 9 years position by election, but he's dropping it to take a 6-year term, even though it's an elected position also, but he's taking a 6-year term.
More powerful.
No, it's not more powerful, because the VP is going to be almost like it's a position that you're not even going to be, nobody get time for you.
And I say get time, right? Power. If the president died, the VP is dead.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing, see? And Amara Kone knows his relationship with Ambassador Boyka. He's not a guy who is thinking about going to get fired tomorrow. One. Number two, in the House, Amara Kone will be buried. He's not going to be in any major or leadership position wherein he's going to be calling the shots. If you look at Amara, Amara is a guy who like to be up out there. He like to be the first man on the poster. Everybody, when he's in the House, he's not going to have that opportunity, because, you know, he's not in any position. He's not going to be a Senate pro tem. What her name going to be calling the shots, and Jeremiah Kuhn. So obviously he's going to be buried. That is not the type of Amara. Amara is a financier. He's a guy who wants to discuss money on international level. All right. Amara decided to go into politics and take that little job because he felt that he wanted to rebrand himself back into the political arena. So if Amara is seeing this opportunity, let me tell you, if Amara even go to the finance ministry for 3 years, his budget allotment, what he's going to be getting, and the opportunity he's going to have will be far more different from what he's going to get when he sits in the House as senator for Babalu County, even though he's going to have 9 years. So he weighs his options. He's looking at his options, and I strongly want to agree that the proximity that Amara is into to the president right now is highly, highly likely that he may emerge as the finance minister for the Republic of Liberia.
So let's see some orphanages in Liberia. How much you want to put on there so we can feed orphanages in Liberia? Yeah, because for me, I just like that. Let's feed some orphanages in Liberia.
Well, I don't want to bet, because these are all opinions and predictions.
I'm a smart American guy.
Let's have alternative. Let's have alternative. What could be a bargaining chip if he were asked by the president-elect, I want you to be this here. So let me say, you who pushing the agenda here, probably you having more conversation with Amara than we here at LPR, Terry. If you were in that shoe, you're a senator. So it's a sort of, what should I say, skill or preference now, right? You get a 9 years, like Sissy said, because Sissy put hope on it already. So we're going to go through that. You get a 9 years guarantee. Nobody can fire you unless after that 9 years, the electors decide not to say, oh, this guy is not doing, versus 6 years. So if you were in his position, what could be the best option?
I would go for the finance ministry based upon my passion, my qualifications, my passion. And I will also, and there are a lot of opportunities. You see, Honorable Darius Dillon, you can't compare Honorable Darius Dillon with Amara Conan. The two of them are in two different classes, and the two of them have two different passions. Ambassador, I'm waiting him. Darius Dillon is from the law field, from the law profession. He mesmerized himself with law. He loved law. That's why Darius Dillon can go to work even when no senator there, because he wants to discuss law and other things. That's what gave him passion. Amara is a money guy. The house will boring him. Now, if for me, right, you ask me that question, I will look, because what Amara is discussing is the entire budget that controls the house. Amara is going to be sitting down over the entire budget of the country. He's going to be regulating that budget. And you want to tell me that Amara will be got in 9 years, so I'm going to sit down to get 15,000 for 9 years and get no major position? What her name, Yombly Kanga Lauren, is going to be getting $1 million in her budget as a Senate pro tem, whereby I'm getting 15,000 and be hustling for scratch card and all the kind of thing, when I can be calling the shots and making the decision as to how much money we give the house, the representative and the senator. Which one do you think I'm going to go for?
First thing,
I understand the modus operandi of the finance ministry.
Terry, let's get something clear. The finance ministry does not determine how much money you get to the house. The house set their own budget, not the finance ministry.
What I'm saying, in Liberia,
yeah,
I agree.
Budget.
The house set their own budget, but I determine whether if they will get it or not.
What do you mean you determine if they will get it?
I'm generating the money. I'm the finance minister. I wouldn't want to generate
the economy. The finance minister does not generate the money. But that's a whole different thing without getting to that part there.
When I mean generating the money, say, I know you want to be technical, but what I'm trying to tell you is that the country itself, the budget is controlled by the finance minister. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not saying that the finance minister go and say, okay, yeah, let's generate them. I know
remember the branch of government
set over the budget.
So, but here is the thing. What says actually the first branch of government, which is the legislative branch of government, at the end of the day, the executive will always go into those sort of negotiation, because if you even deny it, they're going to summon you why you say it's not there, and that's a very long
into that argument with him. But here's the point I'm trying to make. The point I want to make here is that for Terry to say that the president pro tem will get $1 million budget and I'm going to get $15,000, is somehow he's trying to muddy the water that somehow the president pro tem get $1 million. There is a difference between a budget and your salary. You're saying an office get a budget and you're trying to connect that with somebody's salary. That is not fair. That is not an analysis. Because the budget in an office pays for so many things, including other staffers in there and other things that goes with that. It's the man's salary. So you can't compare the budget with somebody's salary.
So then why do we condemn our people in a house that they're getting so much money for a small country like Liberia? Meanwhile, the people don't get nothing.
I mean, you stay not getting the point.
No, I get a point, because
your point I'm making to you is that you're not comparing apples to apples. You talk about budget.
The reason why I'm not comparing, because when you come to the budget in Liberia for each representative and the offices, even any kind of way you put it, most of that money goes into the pocket of these people. These things you're talking about, is a budget that you go. So you want to tell me, say the pro temp is going to get one pro temp for Liberia, a small economy like Liberia, will get $1 million.
But
what are you going to do with that money? So you want to tell me you're going to be for stationery? You're going to buy stationery? You're going to buy scratch card? You're going to buy this? You're going to buy that? Can you show me where in the history of Liberia that any Senate pro tem were able to be audited or explain how the budget, how they spend the budget?
Things, my brother. I'm not saying, but you're talking 500 different things. I have not told you that they have ever audited them or they haven't audited them. I have not told you that whether the budget was just or not just. I've not got any of that thing. All I told you is that you're not comparing orange apples to apples. You say a budget for an office and you say the salary of another person. You cannot compare those two things because they're not the same. That's the point I'm making.
Okay. I agree that they are not the same, but what I'm trying to do,
and then the second piece
is an analysis. Because the reason why it's an analysis, I was just giving an example, right?
But they're not.
And my example, I'm coming out. My example here is I'm trying to lay out a premise as to if Amara Conan will have to read between the lines.
But is there any correlation with the example? Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Let's bring the mayor from Atlanta, Georgia. That the people who wanted to loot vote to get the presidency. Maybe he will get. Amos George. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Flo. Good evening, sister, and good evening, Terry.
Okay, let's be here. You are the president.
Yeah, I was forced to call on my way. I opened back.
Oh, you're on the phone.
So you look at him. He say, look at him. He forced to call, even though he on your way. He coming to Mayflower now. Just listen. Yeah, go.
I'm not going to minister of finance before. I'm not going to serve as minister of finance. Second, I'm not going to come back to run as senator. He won his position. The position of a senator is powerful than a minister. The minister of finance cannot sign any member of the Senate. Only the Senate can sign a minister of finance or any other ministerial agency. Only the Senate has that power. So that argument is making that I'm not going to go into the minister of finance will give him more. No, I'm not going to have been there before. That's why you see he got the job. But being a senator is powerful than being a minister of finance. If Amakwana is in the Senate, maybe he become chairman of the Ways and Means Committee or the budget. He can call the minister of finance and make him stand for 3-4 hours in his seat in that building to answer any financial questions. So I don't know why you find the issue that Amakwana, he could take the job or he must take the job as the minister of finance and leave his 9 years in his seat. I don't know. Explain to me what Amakwana will be doing as the minister of finance that he has not done before. In the Senate, let me repeat myself, in the Senate, Amakwana is more effective. You have the power to summon any minister of finance, the minister of justice, to answer questions pertaining to the budget, to justify why this money must be going and how it was used. But if the minister of finance, you can't sign any senator for that. You can't do it. It's not in the purview. So that is the difference. Amakwana would prefer to be in the Senate because you will have more power. And being in the Senate, don't you know, Amakwana can make the argument for more money to go to Bible district than being a minister of finance. You don't know the power for Senate? You don't think Amakwana is on the budget committee or chairman of that budget committee? You don't think Amakwana got an influence to lobby with other senators to make more money to go into his country? He will have that power. But as minister of finance, he won't have that power. He won't. So I just want to add to that argument that Amakwana, I don't know if you spoke to him, but I would not see Amakwana as minister of finance. I think Amakwana would prefer to be in that Senate where he will feel that he has power, that he can summon any minister, corporation, director of corporation, he can summon them. He can ask them, hey, come and appear here. Sit down for the next 2 hours, wait for us.
Yeah, okay. You know, it reminds me into the late Mabutu Vladimir, right? When after he lose his senatorial something, and then he became public works minister. He went for one hearing, and you know, the man had to get a way of working, you know, that kind of like to the point. Oh my man, you know, most senator now, you minister, so we will make you. You know, that's also a country.
You know, you are not dressed properly, and just a camera.
You get some of your Highland. Okay.
Yeah,
so
they say you cannot appear in front of the jeans. Go and dress and come back.
But oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
But a single person can call a senator. I mean, a single senator can call for a minister to come. Do you know how?
Depends if you are a chairperson on the committee. You know, I mean, you can somehow.
You can write.
And even now on the committee, you can.
But so power is different from.
Here is the other point I was trying to make. Sorry, the point I was trying to make is about Amara's future. If Amara has future political aspiration, and he takes a job as a minister of finance, where anything can go wrong, the global economy, there could be another pandemic, if things go sideways, there's infighting in government. There's always infighting in government, by the way, especially the executive. There's always people wanting your job. And then he leaves the finance ministry. There is no way he maintains that momentum to go back in 2029 and try to run to be president. Or try to want to be senator again for the seat that he had just given or to be minister.
But Mel Jones did it.
Did he become president?
He did not, but he made it.
That's my point I'm making. You hear me? I say there's no way he become president.
So I think why he's saying in essence, I think Amara ultimate goal now is to
That's the point I said. I didn't say somebody to it. I said will not win. He said Mel Jones did it. Mel Jones win. That's the point I'm making.
Amara are two different characters.
It is the same thing. In Liberia, it will not happen. It will not happen.
It will not happen.
It will not happen. The political landscape is not there. You think why Amara could not run in Mosorado? You have to go to Bapolu. That to build a political base.
Well, it depends on preference. It's preference.
What's the preference in our way again? They may have to go for political base in preference.
Yeah.
Okay.
He could be a godfather for Bapolu, depending on what you will do. Development and the impact you will make on our community.
Since we're still in the corridor of Amara now, I believe Amara is a member of the United Party, right? Even though he went as independent. He left.
United Party Alliance.
Alliance and what have you. So we're seeing executive clemency being granted former defense minister to Bernie Samokai. He's still a United partisan, correct?
Yeah.
Bernie Samokai said it. He said he's still a United Party.
Yeah. So we are trying to forecast to look at the future of the party. When Amara comes back to United Party, even though he's an independent, Bernie Samokai, his name was one of the names that were filtering before this whole train just went down here. So do you think, because this is where the problem is, since we are still around here and I want to bring in something else here. I don't know, none of the Boyka folks has confirmed that, but from all indications, I think Ambassador Boyka most likely would just want to say, let me do my first term, one term, and then I kind of set a standard and leave it. But will he build the next future or the face of Unity Party? That is very key. Is that something you think he's going to do before exiting office?
Yeah,
in order for the party
to go to the Unity Party, they will be the rising star before the Unity Party. Those two people, Bernie Samokai and Amara Konen, they can easily pick out the bidding piece of that party. But besides that, right now, I ain't see anybody there that will be able to maybe move the party. Maybe somebody there, I don't know yet.
You say you see nobody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe somebody there, but I don't see the person. But if Amara Konen and Bernie Samokai go back to the Unity Party, definitely they are the ones that will be trying to build that party now, because Honorable Boakai, I know after his 6 years, I don't think he will not be running again. So maybe he will try to bring those people in to try to build an institution, not personality, but an institution. And he can bring maybe American and Bernie Samoka, and they can bring like-minded people to move the party forward. I can see that. But hey,
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
whether somebody is behind there, but those are the two people that I see. If they go to the party, they might be able to pick up the party to carry the party.
So,
So
what would be the future of Minister Bernie Samoka within the Unity Party?
Oh, okay. I thought you were just asking general. Like, I'm saying, let him pay the people money for it. Lofa Gandhi people you can sit down and say, raise money for him. When they're not eating money, or giving something to Lofa Gandhi, when they can't find, they can't raise money. I think something I thought there's something had to be wrong with them. I'm gonna go raise money for a billion. But look, there will be a very tight rope for President-elect Joseph Boakai to walk. Because to try to groom a rising star in the United Party, we sent a message to other members of the alliance. What does that message look like to Jeremiah Kuhn? Are you raising somebody to challenge me after you leave for the presidency? What does that look like to Magdalena Cooper? To Lucini Kamara? That would be a very tight rope to walk. A very tight rope.
But I mean, that's a line.
It is a line because the coming together
is the government. And so you'll start seeing infighting soon, very sooner. If that's not if it's not done with tact, you'll see infighting soon. Because mind you, Jeremiah Kuhn did not come to be vice president and be vice president to another United Party president. That is not his dream. And so
he's not from the United Party.
Again, like I said, how do you do that when your vice president is sitting? That's the same problem CDC were having with NPP while long. How do you do that when your vice president is there seated and they come from a? It's not like you have one party that's in power, right? You don't have one party that's in power. You have an alliance in power. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying it will be a tight rope to walk, very tight rope to walk.
Of course. Yeah.
So
that I agree with you.
And this is very crucial here, and this is a very interesting episode we're going to watch here. The survival, the sticking together, the holding up together of this alliance that got the victory to get the presidency, vice presidency. It's more or less going to be almost like a proportional stuff because all of these people who form part of the alliance, they're going to be. They're going to get a piece of the pie. They're going to get, some of the elephant meat when it is bushel. Now, how to maintain, how to solidify that group, that is key. And this is where that burden lies, that burden of surviving of this, the alliance is with Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai. That's a dicey one, Terry, because when it comes to all of them, they all participated. We saw that they were all in conversations with the ruling establishment, and ultimately they took a decision to go with the opposition, and they pulled it out at the end of the day. Of course, there must be a political dividend. Now, in order to have this alliance to survive, is the top guy based on how they're going to apportion and how people are going to be incorporated in this government. That burden is on to Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai. Will we see this alliance to stick together?
Well, certainly, I believe that the ambassador is a guy who understands how to manage people, if I may say. But again, there are too much people who knows too much. Working with people who knows too much become very difficult because everybody is on the edge. Everybody feels that this is what I bring to the table, and if I can get the lion's share, then it means that I have to take it back. So obviously, down the road, there will be a split. I can just sit here with all even thinking, like I said, that the last time my prediction was that we're all thinking the ANC will support CDC, and it happened. I'm telling you now that I foresee that the alliance will split very soon, because they have come to the very much crucial part wherein everybody have to be given equal share according to the proportion of what they asked for when they went behind the curtains where we were not there, you know. So, and the aspect of everybody knowing about everything too much is going to cause a split. So obviously, but I think Ambassador Barker will fight to keep people that are loyal to him. You see, the Papa is a very wise man. And in wisdom, in leadership, you got to be able to cut your hand in a way in which you will protect yourself and your interests. Ambassador Barker, there's a reason why he stuck with the Unity Party, even though Ellen left. There are people that he got grip on, that he got control over. And in leadership, as a leader, you need people that you can control. You need people that when you do like this, no matter what you do, know that they are in your corner. With the alliance, everybody is not in Ambassador Barker corner. So obviously, there will be a split. Now, even Jeremiah Kuhn, there are some things that may happen that Jeremiah Kuhn may not like. Who knows? Even right now, there are some things happening that Jeremiah Kuhn may not go down well with him. But I think that Ambassador Barker, with the like of what he named, Samukar, there is some level, to me, there is some level of distance because of this whole George Weah thing, going to the church and all that. I think there's some level of distance. But I think that Samukar cannot be left out because these are people that are very loyal to Ambassador Barker. So in the full run, I foresee that this particular alliance will have a split, but not to a huge extent, but there will be a shaking.
Okay, let's not leave our audience in the vacuum. When you say they're going to have a split, will it be coming from one of the groups in the alliance or individuals, and who that person possibly could be? Which group?
It could come from group. It could come from one of the political leaders in the alliance. All right, one or two of political leaders can withdraw because their interest is not being adequately met. Obviously, I expect that to happen.
Who has a history of that? The history of maybe withdrawing from the alliance or coalitions or whatever.
Well, I'm not going to say here clearly because I'm making predictions, and my predictions are not facts. But given the fact that I have seen, we have witnessed such kind of thing happen before, there have really not been a concrete alliance that have hold in the Liberian politics. I have not seen some. Like they just ended, they just going out government. All right, we saw what happened between President Weah and Joel to an extent. The whole entire thing split. They have Weah chance. And most of the sedition, all we used to say CDC, they never even used to make mention of the alliance. So there's a possibility that with Jeremiah Kuhn and the Unity Party, the MDR and the Unity Party, they may not work together effectively. I don't see that relationship really holding to the end, to the very end. I don't see it holding to the very end. Like you guys saying right now, right? I think Sissy was talking something about that, like something he said about, that maybe it dropped out of my mind. We'll get it back later. But he was saying something about somebody in the party, because obviously, look at Prince Johnson, look at Jeremiah Kuhn. All right, these guys, I believe, they did not just come to the party to say, "Oh, okay, yeah, I Jeremiah Kuhn, I'm just going to be here as vice center bearer, and Unity Party going to keep calling the shots." No, Jeremiah Kuhn won a fair share, and I don't think they're going to get what they want. And on the foundation of that, I foresee that there will be a split. We may not know it from the onset, but it's going to eventually occur.
So, Cecil, let me just bring you in here. It would be unfair looking at past history, but when there's a pattern, then one could make that sort of educated guess as well. Now, the surviving and the success of this administration, more or less, is to make sure the alliance consistently or remained unified, not to be like the type of PRC after the first few months and things start falling apart. But you have a guy who is, even though he's not a political leader, man, but he's very vocal. I don't know how can he be contained. Senator Prince Johnson, like for example, now calling for a radio station to be closed. He has a right to do that. He can, whatever, put up, call in management and all of that. But he has his guy there who is a political leader. With this guy, will he pressure this guy behind the scenes to get certain things pushed? And if that is the case, how will the ambassador? I'm wondering whether there's a fine line being drawn. Even though he did references during his conversations, the family, friends, and thing, he doesn't do that. But they are all put together, becomes one, push one agenda, and ultimately they succeeded. Will somebody go over the edge here to push the old man?
So the first thing is, I don't know why we get overly concerned when Prince Johnson makes speeches and we try to tie that to the Unity Party government. Prince Johnson is a senator. Besides that, Prince Johnson is a pastor. On Sunday, he can open Habakkuk chapter 3 and read it and say completely different thing than what Habakkuk meant to close this. The man a pastor. Yeah.
Or maybe the Holy Spirit intervene, right?
for me, really. Look, I will answer your question, but one thing I'm really excited about is when Reverend Weir leave office. Now I ain't got enough time to read the Bible and preach.
Who is Reverend Weir?
Reverend John Weir.
What do you mean?
And on Sunday, I'm a pastor again. How you can be, I think so. On Sunday, I'm a president when you for I'm Reverend Weir. So I'm waiting for the battle of Reverend Weir and Reverend Johnson on those Sundays. I will be listening to multiple buying plenty devices just to have both of them on at the same time. Look, let me tell you something. If Prince Johnson does not push Jeremiah Cohn to ask for more, Prince Johnson will be a fool. The party that Jeremiah Cohn comes from, the MDR, just like all of the other collaborating parties in the alliance, will be pushing the arrowheads to ask for more. That's just normal. Any negotiation, any arrangement, that's just normal. So people are going to be asking for more. And just because it comes from MDR now, so it's a bad thing. I don't see it as a bad thing. I really think that everybody, that's the only way that the coalition stands, is people got to be asking for more and folks got to be able to renegotiate and negotiate and negotiate. The thing for me that I see is that, and Terry pointed out to that a little bit, I have seen this president-elect be willing to cut part of his body if that part of that body making him sin. I'm using that because he's a deacon. And here's the point I'm making. When dependable nephew came out and said the vice presidential candidate was selling human being parts, they made dependable nephew to apologize. Then they start lying. This old man is not somebody that does not think 3 steps ahead. You want to call him ungrateful, you want to call him whatever name. He has a plan and he remains mission focused on it. And if there are distractions, he will not hesitate to minimize those distractions. If you think I'm lying, ask dependable nephew why he's not the one taking the picture right now. I'm not taking the pictures.
Is he still, do you think if Ambassador were to interact with him today, will he still call him dependable nephew?
My man, I ain't a poor family. I know I can put my family to.
So before I forget, you remember somebody we yet to validate that information, but Mali did point it out. But I spoke with a couple of people, and somebody who is a nice, they get the dormitory at the Findale which of course is a science college. There's a lady that worked there within the how you call it, the medical or clinic or whatever. And just what Mali was saying here, my guess, because he said, well, the number of people now, the size they have increased. So it means the people are employment now is just going. Whether they're going to get paid, they're not going to get paid, it's ongoing now. That even if these information and we will get to know at some point in time when the new government is seated. If this is true, that would be a problem. That would be a problem. Well, let me see here. Let's play. Yeah, you want to respond to that? How would
I tell you that family would let them respond to that one.
Respond to what now? Or Henry Costa or something?
No, about the hiring thing.
The hiring.
About
That's
the
yeah. That
hiring
we don't know how
Ambassador
many
Bola.
places. No, now Buakai. A lot of employment is ongoing now. We don't know how many places these are going, but if it's a Fender and all of that, those places can all be included, and then forget it. All other branches of government size is being increased. I say if that happens, that would be a problem.
There will be a problem because obviously civil servant got to go through certain procedure to be delisted from the payroll also, right? So if you just employ them, you can't just fire them because there are procedures that you got to pass through to fire them. So I think CDC is doing a very wise thing. CDC is clandestine, they're good at, creating, those kind of shenanigans to create problem for the incoming government. But obviously it's going to happen. Ambassador Boga have to be drastic in order to get the job done. Otherwise, there are some things he will have to do that will not go down well with certain people in order to get the job done. But there was something that I remember what Sissy was saying about Jeremiah Kuhn that I want to throw in before is that Jeremiah Kuhn will want to, that Jeremiah Kuhn cannot sit down. He's looking at his political career. So as a result,
okay, we'll start the show over.
Jeremiah Kuhn is not going to settle. Allow Ambassador Barker to bring in somebody that will give him hard time in 2029, because Jeremiah Kuhn have merged in this particular race not to just be VP. He's eyeing the presidency. He has made so much sacrifices for that particular position. And if Ambassador Barker told us that he wants one term and he picked Jeremiah Kuhn as his running mate, it is just fair enough that Jeremiah Kuhn should be the guy that everybody in Liberia should be looking at to be the next president, whether it's the Unity Party like it or not. And guess what? I'm right behind him with that idea. So, yeah, but you can't use the man and dump him. That is the ungratefulness we're talking about. You can't use the man to bring you to power and then later on you come out and say, oh, you know what? Or that the other person, almost like what Ellen did to him.
Yeah, okay. So talking about that point, I will play some of the essence of the president-elect force here. Now, talking about the hailing stuff, I have never had the opportunity to talk to him, but the interpretation then varies differently and all of that. He was a car park and blah, blah, blah. Now, so how will he treat even, what will be the examination now of the vice president elect, because I don't think he wants to put him in a situation that he himself found himself in sometime around, for which he probably that he was not being more functional or whatever he thinks. I don't know what's the real description for which he said he was a car park in the garage. What's responsibility this time now? Now he no more, he not in the garage, he out of the garage now. He really in the driveway now, and the two flare posts will be in front of Mercedes.
So I can show her everything.
Yeah. So now he out of the garage now. So how will he even also get a Kuhn in the picture, not to put him in the garage?
Okay, go ahead.
No, but I think it's already showing though. I think President Lebwaka learned from there so much so that on the transition team right now, He's not in Liberia. It's the VP elect that's in charge. That's running it. He's not micromanaging it. So I think from the beginning we can already see that he's willing to give a longer rope to his vice president. But we can wait and see in the future. But I don't think after lamenting the way he was treated, and after Liberian people haven't been open to the way Madam Taylor was treated as VP, I think he knows better, and I know that he would do better. He would not treat him the way he was treated, because that would be just wrong. And looking at what he's doing right now, I think he's already showing to us that he's not going to do the same thing to Kun.
Terry?
Yeah. So to be honest with you, I already want to see. I already want to see it before I can believe it, because the VP position has always been a nominal. I don't know how you call it. I've always been a board position in Liberia. It has not really worked effectively. They have been very. So what I want to see is, I want to see the vice president coming to the United States. I want to see Ambassador Boyka, all the engagements he's doing here, that when he take over power, the VP should be coming now to do the cleaning up, to come, and then follow up on those engagements that he's making right now. Then from there, I would say, yeah, then our VP is not going to be packed. But looking at the kind of society we have, there is a fear of the vice president in our society of doing much for the president. There is a fear, there is an intimidation that comes to the office of the vice president always, that, the vice president might likely overthrow the president. That mentality is the Liberianization mentality when it comes to politics. And given the fact that there is a Prince Johnson factor, I'm really looking at how Ambassador Boyka will really treat our Jeremiah Kun. I want to see how he's going to do it, because there have been a lot of propaganda. There have been a lot of mixed feelings of the Prince Johnson factor being the de facto president. So will Ambassador Boyka really want to use Jeremiah Kun to the higher extent as, a VP that's not going to be part? I really, really, really want to see it. I think Jeremiah Kun is just a prospect of a guy who the ambassador is going to say, okay, you know what, this is how it's supposed to be done. This is how it's supposed to be done. Prepare yourself for 2029. But to say he's really going to be caught doing things, I doubt it.
So Terry, one of the things is, I think that I was speaking to when I said he will lean on him. One of the biggest job of the vice president is to be the advisor, the prominent advisor to the president.
Oh.
So if President Boyka is not consulting and seriously considering the opinion of his vice president, then it doesn't matter even if you put him on plane to go fly around, it would just be for nothing. So for me, you're right. I'm waiting to see how much leverage Kun has and how much the president leans on Kun for advices. If he's just going to be doing his own thing and be in front of Prince Johnson and don't listen to Kun, then he parking the man in the car. And this time it will be like Alexander Cummings' new Ferrari, just parking in the garage.
Hey, man, where you come from with comment on or team business?
No,
we're talking here. You now see Amos Joy. No. You see, the same thing you did to Terry here. Amos Joy, you see Amos Joy now. You want to bring a Cummings business to stay out stuff here, guys. So just it, man. Yeah. Now, you see, the conversation is being nice now. We've been having a smooth conversation. But right now, within the last 10 minutes or so, nothing is guaranteed. But I'm going to bring him in. However, I'm going to bring him. But I'm just making it, I'm just putting on notice now. So that everybody would know.
Oh, the Liberal. Yeah.
The Liberal, good evening.
Good evening. Guess what? The people in total listening to you like you're trying to block me on the radio live. So go out and I'm just putting you on notice right now because people in total have already told them to turn into the radio and they are on and it's live right now. So watch yourself.
You think the way you think you're going to intimidate me with? Okay. If you did anything that required to be black, you black. Let me go to Amos Joyce here. You're already getting me to get in gear now already. But Joyce, good evening.
Good evening again. How you doing?
Good to have you here. Liberal, good to be here. It's better late than never. Thank you so much.
Mr. So, please let me just, if you don't mind. I know I'm late as usual.
Okay.
I tried to do this stuff here, but the connection problem was very difficult. I have to call the provider, and they showed me a little bit. So it's all on. But what I was wondering if any of you can test this system and just see if it is.
Okay. So yeah, wait. Let me see here. Let's see here.
So it should be on now.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Because I kind of like. No, I'm still hearing the sound. Maybe it will capture.
It's on. It's on. You gotta refresh it.
I have to go back off because.
Yes.
Are we talking about the website?
Yeah. www.liberalpublicradio.
Yeah. So yeah, and I will try to. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's all. Let me just mute it here. Okay.
Yeah,
before we go. Oh no! I gotta get this audio on.
You gotta mute it, or else you're gonna be having echo over there.
I know you think I'm gonna make you to transport my program here because those are the things you're already working on. Okay, thank you so much, Lebrot. And we're going to let our audience know as well. The audio now, it can be heard on the official website. Before we wrap up, we kind of like do the screen sharing to show it to them. Okay, guys, let's get going. It's better late than never. Lebrot, good to have you here. I thought you said you're not going to wear blue again. You are blue away.
The election over. Mr. So, have you not been listening? You're way behind time. Our father said no more blue business, no more green business. We're all Liberian. You see everyone here wearing green? You not see everyone here wearing green here on the show before? He wearing green today.
So, okay, guys, let's.
There's a soldier like confusion. I tell you, it's much more confusion to where you're going.
The liberal man. So, okay, let's get the little excerpts of the president-elect interview. I think that was quite fascinating. We're just going to play a little excerpts, and then we have a conversation before we wrap up this evening here. That's the president-elect of the Republic of Liberia, Ambassador Jose Newman-Boyka.
President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this specifically? I'm not coming new to government, right? Although in different positions, ran a public corporation that was credible, and I can tell you,
you're getting the audio right.
Come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start talking about family, to start talking about. I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
During the campaigning, you talked a lot about the country's youth, who are the majority of the population. Yes. Mr. President-elect, we know majority of them are unemployed, which some people say is a danger to the country's stability and peace. What plans do you have for the people of Liberia, especially the youth, in terms of job creation, in terms of having faith in moving the country forward? What do you have for them?
We came with a mantra. We talked about, first we have a platform, and then we have an agreed platform that talks about arrest, meaning agriculture, roads, the rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. We believe these are areas in which we can jumpstart. And
let's stop this here and have a conversation here, guys. I believe everybody have listened to this here, but the president-elect, there's a consistency here in terms of his message, what he hopes to do. But what was quite interesting being in government, this is not strange. There's going to be a find, there's going to be a demarcation frame. Not because you're from what I'm saying here, I'm trying to go beyond the borderline, not because you're from Lofa County or from where is he from? Kolahun. So it's just going to be that way. He's coming to run a government. Liberal, let me bring you in here. You in. It seems that you're in gear here, but please, it doesn't involve you screaming and yelling and all of those sort of stuff here. The president-elect still maintains the bar. He still maintains the standard that he hopes his government will be. Those were the things that he was talking about. And I was still surprised. He was still consistent. No car will be stopped in the mall. I mean, there's something going to be maintenance, not necessarily use asphalt. Is that how they call it, asphalt? The quota?
Yeah, quota.
Yeah. But what we used to see those days, the Ministry of Rural Development, counties, these people that were there, these little roads, they were making sure to maintain them. I'm quite sure that's in the context. Why he's so confident and still maintaining this position?
Yes, as I stated yesterday, Mr. Soul, and you coming out trying to temper my enthusiasm, which is not going to work. But let me just say this here very quickly. Ambassador Baka, people been saying he been in government for 40 some more years. What have he done? Now he's getting ready to show you how the devil can dance. The real devil, the real Liberian devil, getting ready to dance now. And there is no question asked that he is focused. Nothing would distract him. He started there immediately after the first round when he made that speech. All hands on deck. And this is about the third major time that he had made that reference. Inclusiveness. So I think he's very focused. He's very focused. And anybody that thinks, say, you're going to come Nyama with to try to run because you think he's old or not able to do what you're mistaken. You would be disgraced. You will be disgraced. And we Liberians don't like to be disgraced. Because when you are disgraced as an individual, it affects your family. Because of that, many Liberians don't like to be disgraced. I don't know about these days. But that's what this incoming government is taking up. Now, my concern is the population of Monrovia. And if Monrovia is going to be the face of Liberia, which is supposed to be, how do you fix that? That is a huge challenge. And so one of the things I hope that he will do is turn the focus back to the interior and let the mayor, whoever is going to be mayor of Monrovia, let them focus on Monrovia, focus on the interior. And the fact that he's somebody that know the farming business, focus on the interior, bring some incentive for the people in the interior to get into farming, and let them start with that foundation. And if he does that, I think we will be fine. But if anyone that is going to be associated with this incoming president, and you think you're going to park in a garage, the car got fuel, it got fuel oil. It's not going to be parked in a garage. Race car, he called himself.
Okay.
Watch how fast this race car goes, Mr. Soul.
Thank you so much. Let me bring in Amos, and then Sissit and Terry will tap in. Pa George, I know you have listened to the interview of Ambassador Boyka, and this is where...
I don't mean to interrupt. Interestingly, I have not listened to it.
But Terry, any man asked for anything last night or in
Yeah.
Why are you going to undress the devil in the public like this? Just
No,
say,
because
yeah, Piggy.
because
Because
were
you
just
talk.
supposed to
No.
Everyone just come to capitalize on that now.
Because you talk that Assembly to it.
Yeah, we go. That's it.
No, that's it. That you talk about Assembly to it. They talk with the UN voting, nobody complain about it. He the one king to call president to talk about Liberia will vote against it. Both the trouble start. Now, you king, you start that you answer the question, you say nothing, you say a word. You don't want to come and say, oh, I asked you to speak it. See that?
Interesting. I told me no, but interestingly.
Yeah, interestingly.
Okay, so for George,
Yeah.
I listened to the interview, and that's where sometimes you see maturity, experience, the way people answer questions, the way they respond. You look in the interviewer eyes, you're confident of saying what you're saying. You're being consistent in your stuff here. Now, if you listen to that, does that give you any different mindset of who Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka is in terms of his sort of governance style? Because maybe we didn't see much of him when he was vice president, which of course makes it very difficult. But now he's going to be the decision maker. He's going to be steering this whole wheel. What do you make of that interview? Yeah, they got from here.
When the stain change of a big cocoa phone.
I think that the internet getting harder.
No, I think there was a call coming. Are you about
I know that man.
Oh. Yes, ASC people. Why? Do I care away on a phone to why they all like that?
Dolake, my brother, I plead the faith, and I'm going to talk nothing about Dolake.
Oh, so that for George, now you're a family man, right?
But just like your friend back, so.
So yeah, okay, so let's dive into the ambassador interview. He did all he's supposed to do in that interview, you think?
Yeah, I think he actually went way above and beyond. But to answer the question about posture and the way, the ease with which you answer a question, he didn't look rushed. He didn't seem that he was saying stuff that he hadn't thought about critically. And for a lot of us, this is a huge difference from what we've been used to. And he didn't backtrack on the things he had said before. When you're talking about the roads, or talking about audit, or talking about declaring asset and stuff like that, and rule of law. He didn't backtrack. So for me, I think
George, I think your audio is something wrong with your system. Is that?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah.
You, but you come with choo. Where I don't know something. You were lifting your car to just I don't know.
So yeah. I think to tie in with what the Liberal was saying about focusing on rural Liberia is what we spoke about last night on the Liberal show. But for those that weren't following us, our audience, what I spoke about is focusing on how you make education accessible and increase the quality of education, because what we see from the data is the further you are away from Monrovia, the city center, the lower the quality of education you get in public schools as you go further and further into the hinterland. So in order to bridge this urban-rural educational gap, a lot has to be done. And for me, one of the things I proposed last night was a tax incentive, a tax break to corporations and companies that incentivize them to move further away from the capital. The further away you move from the capital, the higher the tax incentive and tax breaks that you should be given. And as more and more people chase jobs outside of the capital, then a lot of private people will build schools. But beyond that, the government needs to make sure that they are putting in those negotiations that those companies, those multinational companies and businesses will be also building schools for those communities. So for me, that is what I'm looking for. But they haven't said a lot about the educational plan yet. So I'm holding my peace. But I'm with a Liberal on how do we decongest Monrovia. Because as it is right now, like I said last night, if I'm in Lofa County and I want to have a bachelor's degree, I just want to earn a bachelor's degree, it doesn't matter in whatsoever thing, I have to leave Lofa County. I cannot live in Lofa County and have a bachelor's degree. And if I want to go to my next door county of Bond County, I have to go to Cottesmore. And if I don't have money, then I got to go somewhere else. And if I want to go to Bapulu, Bapulu does not have one. If I want to go to Bami County does not have one. So there is a need to ensure that either the University of Liberia is decentralized in a way that you will have the ministry, you will have the University of Liberia at Vonjama, University of Liberia at Tucson, University of Liberia at, and we can have different colleges over there, and we allow people to move out and spread education equity that way.
So quickly, before I go to Terry, if you were called in to provide some sort of counsel with decentralization, because part of why you see the city is so clustered is that because everything is right in the city. Will you, for example, which of course is saying this and kind of like break the country down into zone and see based on the resources, at least you look at the western side, you look at the eastern side, and maybe you find in the middle where it's suitable or where resources can get. And that way people don't have to put stress on themselves. You got to get family, you got to get this. You can go within the regions. Do you see them moving in that sort of direction? Because from the argument of the president-elect, it seems to, instead of the government, people coming to the government, he wants to take the government to the people.
Right. And I think Ellen started there somewhat when they had, I think there was a branch of the University of Liberia in Cape Mount. I think they had started something about that. Either it was a feeder school or something like that. But look, here is what they would do. Say, for example, if truly the university is going to be a research institution, agricultural college, you have to put that either in Nimba County or in Lofa County. If you put agricultural college in Lofa County,
not Monrovia,
not Fendel, you move agricultural college to Nimba County or to Lofa County. Now here's what happens: students have to go there. You saw how Fender got developed so fast. Student housing is a need. People start to build houses. People start to build clinics. So it becomes itself. It brings its own economy with it, and it creates jobs. So those people in those places also benefit. That's how you take government to the people. I think the one biggest thing that if they're really serious about is, and I know my brother here, Ja, is saying that the tax breaks have been on our book for a long time. I think he's right, but we need to maybe look at it and look at it critically. But also, in addition to that, how do we, once we start to decentralize education, if you move University of Liberia engineering department somewhere else, you move University of Liberia geology department to a place that got enough thing where people can study enough racks, then people will follow there for their education. And those places,
so they say tie that back to Lofa County and Nima County. Why you think the agricultural university should be in those two counties and not just job creation? Can you tie that back in there, please?
Well, for me, it's just it's historically those have been the bread baskets of our nation.
Thank you.
Those have been the bread basket, and I think whoever thought of the idea of carry was kind of thinking about that. When you had a Central Agricultural Research Institute centrally located centrally in the Republic, and then right there you have BCADP, you have smallholder, you have all of the LCADP feeding off of there. So I think we need to do that same thing, but with the University of Liberia system.
Okay. Before I go to Terry, let's go to the first caller here. Callers, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So. Good evening to the panelists. My name is Victor. I'm calling you from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Welcome to the show, Victor. How are you doing? Let's hear you.
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for the show this evening. Very fascinating and educated. Here is what I want to say to the president-elect, the team with the president-elect. My suggestion that I want to make is similar thing like what Mr. Sisi is saying, Mr. Goya is saying. What I think is, I first of all, I want to say, after listening to Ambassador Barker on the VOA, I want to say that I think Ambassador Barker is on point with his messaging from campaign now to being president-elect. The message is in line. There's no deviation. It seems that he gave his eyes on the ball. He wants to do what he said many years ago from 2017 up to 2023. But here's what I want to suggest to the president-elect, that we can, the very important ministries in Liberia, we can kind of like subcommittee them so that people, from the diaspora can collaborate with people in Liberia to look at some of those things in the ministry. For instance, Ministry of Education, like Mr. Goya is saying, we can set up a team to work for 3 months. Go back and look at what are some of the things that are not needed at the Ministry of Education that we need to undo, and what are some of the things that people who will serve on our committee can suggest to improve our education system. For instance, why are students failing in WAEC? Is it that the subjects we're giving too many subjects that they are not consuming? Why is it that for instance, if we can set up an asset recovery team too, to go ahead and look at some of those reports from GSC, from the LSCC, and see whether we can set up a fast track court. Why is it that the judicial system is not working in certain instances? Why is it that it is working in certain instances? Some of the great lawyers in the country, just subcommittees to work for 3 months, give them a timeline and say, hey, we want you to do this. They review some of the things, some of the laws that are good, some of it that are not good. And then I think that our country will get back on the path. That is what I just wanted to suggest tonight. Thank you guys for the show.
Thank you
it's
so
very
much.
educated. It's very, very, very informative.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Victor, for always contributing. So, Terry.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the speech of Ambassador Barker was excellent, but I think there were two things that were not discussed. That I think one was done on purpose, and the other one might have not come up. And that was for the journalists to ask him about the War Crime Court. And the next thing that I believe didn't just come up was about technology, how you're going to tackle technology with the battle of technology in the globalization of technology in the world. What going to be his agenda on technology for Liberia? But what I also got from that speech was that he said that he used certain word that I think the journalist asked him that it would be capital intensive, and something he was speaking about. He said, but yeah, we are lobbying and our partners, but we have to satisfy our partners,
right,
so that our partner can be able to meet up with our agenda. So my thing is, what do he mean by that? Is he trying to say that we have to do certain auditing, or we have to bring war crime code that will satisfy our partner for them to meet up with our agenda? But that area there, I think there's a deep thinking over there. I think there's a deep thinking when he made that statement. I was kind of hesitant as to what he really means. Maybe someone could help me tonight on the show.
I will help you.
But okay.
You say okay.
You sure you want that okay there because
You sure you want that to help you? I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, I want you help me.
Okay.
Okay. Something to always in the way have your staring out thing when it comes to by joy. Say, but anyway, I don't want to try inside. I want to know my business. By Joy.
Yeah.
Help Terry out.
I will help her, but I listened to the old man's speech. Since the old man announced that he wanted to be president, this was the first major press conference he ever had, and I was very impressed with his response. This has been the first international press conference that he sat down. Nobody bring paper to him. He answered questions directly. Terry, let me tell you something. Maybe go and play this speech The old man said, actually, he said, we are talking to our partners. They assure us. But that statement he made, he said, we would fight corruption, we'll audit people, but we're not going to do it locally. That is, we're going to bring in international firm, accredited firm, so people can have no doubt that we are witch hunting people.
Okay, caller, hold on 1 second. After the
That was the old man in response to that. And that is assurance to the partners.
Okay.
Because corruption is the number one issue on the Liberian people table and our partners. And that was in response to the international community. This is what we're going to do. We're not just going to do it our Liberian way. No, we're going to bring experts in. Firm that has repetition to other people. And he went to say, nobody should be afraid to give an account of your stewardship. What is there for you to be afraid?
Right.
So I said, the old man, you know me, there was the first major speech he ever gave. And do not overlook that old man.
So because that's
if anybody think you're going to underestimate him, he will take it by surprise from the response that I saw him giving. So all we got to do now, he talked the talk, now he got to walk the walk.
So the question to you now is, do you regret your decision of not supporting us?
Something to please.
Hold on.
The next thing you need
to
President of the Republic of Liberia is not an old man.
Oh God.
No, I do not regret. And I still stand by my word. I did not support Omen Boakai. I'm not like one of you people who on your own does something, then you're trying to back them. That's why you're backing for Nadi Kofa. I'm not at them.
Okay. Yeah,
No,
listen to him. Let him finish talking. I'll come to the caller. You're not moving nowhere.
No. I did not support Omen Boakai. But if Omen Boakai is saying something that is realistic and being truthful, I have to give him the credit.
Speak, by George.
Until he disproved me. But the speech, I can't come and say, oh, the Omen were not on point. Then I'm not being honest. The question I want to pose to you, and you and Terry, and to Honorable Boakai, what would be the role of Samoka? Is he the person that I'm making a sin? So all the criminal thing he did, the record had been thrown into the garage where he was seen now. So where will he be? I'm waiting to see, because he said, I'm going to appoint people with impeccable character. Those are his words. So
okay, let's go to the.
I'll be waiting to see his cabinet.
Okay, let's go to the phone line. Caller, thank you so much for being so patient, tolerant. Let's hear you and where you calling from.
Hello, my name is Pega Dupu, and I join you from Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Good evening. Thank you so much for being patient. Let's hear you.
Yes. Firstly, I would like to say thanks to you guys for discussing Liberia, our motherland. So my point is, I would like to agree with you that our educational system revamping is key to a lot of issues. Take for instance, I worked in the private sector in Liberia for about 10 years, and we were able to outsource jobs to India, Philippines, right from Liberia, right? Because those countries have good educational system.
Right.
So, and when I transitioned to the US, I worked for corporate institutions that outsource jobs. Just to take call. How long they outsource those jobs to India and Philippines? Once our educational system is revamped and we have technology inculcated into it, I think that can help, create a lot of jobs around the country. But key to that is we need a better educational system.
Better educational systems. All right. You want to have an informed society. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, guys, and have a blessed day.
Thank you so much for participating. We do appreciate that. You're always most welcome. Okay, so who was coming? Was that Terry? I know we are almost.
Yeah,
I know we're almost going out of time. One of the key thing here, and we had a conversation, I believe, day before yesterday, when our guy went out in the streets of Monrovia and showing it, and he, Ambassador Boyka, be talking about sanitation. If you want, I can get you off, Sese. We can talk. It was to do about sanitation, and all of that. So it's a crucial part. How would this be achieved? You can just square that all of it before we wrap up here this evening.
Sanitation is a very key thing for our society going forward, because in order for us to attract investors, we need a clean city. But sanitation is not only Monrovia. You know, there are many other places in Liberia counties and all that where dirt piles remain, you know, in other parts of Liberia. So in order to address the sanitation area, you need somebody with a robust mindset to address it. So I don't know what Ambassador Boyka is thinking and how he's thinking, but D-Flow were talking something about outsourcing, you know, the sanitation, so other people can come in and help to do it. You know, I think maybe that could be our best option. But like I said, we tried before and it have never really worked, because you need a kind of population to generate the money that will keep the business going. Liberia do not have that much population, because population is very important in economy. You don't have that much population already to be able to do that. And there are some areas in the country that you can't even go between houses to be able to get it died off. You know, there is not an easy, you don't have proper alley and all the kind of thing. So the sanitation just need somebody like Mary Broad that will be able to address it. When Mary Broad was over there, she did very, very well. I think I overheard you. I don't know if it was you or somebody else talking about Mandela Cooper, that you heard the name of Mandela Cooper going to that area. Yeah, I think she will not be able to make it. You need Mandela Cooper is soft. She can't make it. Liberia needs somebody who get drafted. The people then they stubborn. That you look at Rayleigh Market, look at Rayleigh, look at Douala, all these places you get for nothing traffic because of the cluster in the city. That's one of the reasons why there is traffic, because you know where to park. People walking all over the place. When I went, I was staying in 2021. When I was staying in Broadville. To leave from Broadville to come to Corwell Junction, it can take you almost an hour, because you can't move. You know, the people selling on the road. And one of the reasons why the people sell on the road is because Liberians do not like to go in the market to buy. They like to be on the street. They like to buy things on the street.
So why the people, don't you think if they protect the market itself in the market, you think they will not go there because they are sitting on the street? That what people buying it. So they should take it to the rightful place. Those places, there were structures, there were market buildings and everything, government or community have. That's where they should go.
That's where they should go. And the government people have moved them into the marketplaces, but they come back on, because you know what too? When it rains, the street, around the market, no good road, the whole place can be soaked with water. So when Liberian people don't let water business, they don't let mud, they don't let water. So when they come to go in, they're able to walk in that mud, so they will stand around the road. So people are forced to leave from market to come. And the markets are not even organized, Mr. So in the market, you have one group of people selling something here, like slipper. You walk further down, you see another person selling, right by that person, you see the person selling chicken. Another person will be selling. So the market is not even organized. If you have a group of people selling slipper, all the slipper people should be one place. All the other people that are selling chicken and meat should be on the other side. So they are not, it's not compartment, it's not, you know, built in compartments. There is no, they're not organized, you know, and all of that. And Liberians love to stay in one place and buy. Even if you see the people drinking Liberian, you go to the club, to the entertainment places, those people got to leave from the market and come to the entertainment places to sell the goods. And that way they make their money, because Liberians will not get up from drinking to go down to Waterside Market, in the market inside, to go put something in plastic bag to buy. They're not going to do it. So the people, because they're looking at the traffic, the congestion, and all of that, so they prefer to sit down while the people come around to them to buy. That is how it is. So we need somebody, or we boss or city mayor, that will be able to drive everybody into the various location. And you also got to create the avenue for cars to be able to move freely, so that people can be easily able to go in the market and come out on time to be able to find car to go home and all of that. So there are a lot of things.
All right. What a complication, demolition, and all of that going to be factoring in. Sissy, the ambassador said, the president-elect says sanitation. And these are very costly and water cost international community, the UNICEF, UNDP, because they spend too much of money when it comes to these outbreak of different viruses and all those kind of things, all because the environment is very dirty. So potentially those are things that they would like to see, because they always want to see a clean environment. This Moravia thing here, because when we get hold of Moravia, trust me, Ganta will follow, Banga will follow, Town will follow, Saraye, all of the places will follow.
Ganta is even cleaner than Monrovia. That's a fact.
That's true. That's very true.
Look, sanitation underlies everything else. I've seen schools that are so dangerous and so unsanitary. Education does not happen in those places. The market grounds that Terry talking about, so unsanitary, so unkept. So sanitation has to belies everything. But before I go further, the last time I said something on this network about how we're going to keep holding this government accountable. Here's the next thing I'm going to hold them accountable to. If they think that thing they did during the first time, the first 2 years, the brother Unse Joe Tate to be passed around between people called Mary Bro, that they will bring up us to do the same thing again. We will sue them. Nobody is going to abuse our people in the name of you get high here, you get dry face. You use the laws, and if the laws are not working, that's your business. You don't want in charge. Go on at those days when we said our life, Mary brought us around ratting and beat our people for nothing. It will not happen no more. Some of us will sue the Joseph Walker government. We are not going to allow them to do the same thing the day before. They will not have no free pass. If the laws are not working, revamp them. Look, there are other countries much more with a much smaller population than Liberia that are cleaner than Liberia. For example, the issue with the markets and the roads. When you're driving in Monrovia and everybody's on the roads, that's because there are very few places where you get sidewalks. And even where there are sidewalks, they emerge into the street, where it's easy for cars to get into pedestrian sidewalks. So I think some of the things they need to do is to build barriers along those roads. You build concrete barriers, you stop people from coming on the roads. But people are building market kitchens where the water and the mud that my brother Terry is talking about is all in there. Nobody want to go be nicely dressed and go step in mud to go buy a chicken feed. I'll wait for you to bring it on the road. Just I can sit right here and get Amazon to bring my thing for me.
Oh my God, chicken feed.
I do think that this is a catch-22. If you privatize sanitation in Liberia, you have to have a way to pay. How are those private companies going to generate their money? Is there going to be a contract from the government that the government pays them? Is it just going to be a budget where we're just cleaning everybody's trash? Or we're going to find a way to start charging those that can pay, especially those businesses that generate trash, and we don't charge them for trash.
They charge them.
We do?
Yes.
Who charging?
Hold on. Go ahead. I will tell you.
If we are, there's somebody eating money somewhere.
I will tell you.
Because if we are, then we'll be really pissed. Because that is where a lot of those trash come from. Put your go dumping places. Look, really quick. The place I stay when I go Monrovia most of the time, Bianco Oakland factory at the house there. We got one guy who has a motorbike / pimping carrier thing. He passes around and collect trash in the neighborhood, right? We just put the trash outside, he collects it. I think he gets paid monthly. Can't collect your trash, he carry it. Nobody ever asked that man where he carry the trash.
You know you're trying out of the place.
One day I drive me into the community. I see my trash man offloading the trash, man. People hurt.
I see no left, no right, nobody there. You get to the whole thing.
Oh God.
The reason we invested in the guy because I said, oh man, they got oh the man smart though. This is a good need. There is a need because I used to tell my people don't burn the trash in the community. The people just collect the dumper, just put fire on it and stuff. You know, I said no, you gotta be. So when the guy started coming around, even some people that could afford it, we start paying for those people. So then they just collect the trash, get the trash. So we're thinking this guy is being, you know, very entrepreneur, you know. Now they may just go in trash for one. They may just take it from one place
from one community to another community.
Okay. So the thing is, we have to be intentional about. We have to first create a way to get rid of our waste, and if it's going to be a private industry, then there has to be a way to actually manage that, and there has to be a way to do inspection on that. And if it's still going to be public, then we have to have a way. I know there are ordinances on the book against littering. We have to find a way to enforce those ordinances and make sure we actually take, because you can't continue to have that kind of trash we got in the city of Monrovia. It can't continue to happen. The thing clogs drainages. Drainages that are built get plugged by the trash. Water backs out in the street. And then when I watch children walking, going to school, it raining, they're walking in those things. And you wonder how some of the children get sick 2-3 days and don't go to school. So the trash issue for me, I put it way above education because I see schoolhouses that have dump site parked right behind it. And the kids are right in the building, they're smelling the dump. Education does not happen in places like that.
Okay. We are really off limit now. I'm talking about time, but let's George Liberals, and we can just make our closing argument. Let make our final remark.
I know you heard about the Liberia Marketing Association. City Corporation collect money from the people daily. City Corporation collect money from all the marketeers.
That's true.
In Monrovia and outside Monrovia.
That's true.
City Corporation, now, before, they collect money every day for garbage disposal. They got a boat to go from table to table. Every day, they collect that money from the people.
So what do they do with then why don't they clean it?
Your nephew never talk about that money. We can't talk about it.
My uncle already stealing with sanction Benin.
Then let's know when Mary Broad took over, the horses in Monrovia, those stores, they had to go to pick up the trash, and people used to pay those people. So one is the management. Then beside the subsidy that the international community was giving to them, your Tamakoji, then they had, I think, UNICEF or whatever, UN, contracted subcontractors to tow garbage from the city. So the city corporation alone had subcontractors that they were paying. People factory, that's why they got a new dump site. In people factory thing, right there to the swamp there down there. That way they were hauling the trash. They had a disposal center there. And behind one time,
his name right? That's Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation.
my man, you know that name. You know the place name. Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, but he called that one from people not know. Just say people factory. You know how to play, but that way they you say Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, some people not know. But that whole place there, people fight each other by the time everybody knows. So the Senate Corporation collects money from the people for garbage disposal. But what I want to say here is, you see real life Douala, look at Barclay Training Center, the market there. What do they, the bill of fence there? The bill of fence, people, but still people used to count the road to sell, but the market, they got fence on the road there. Like Accra, real life, just somehow Accra, Kaneshi. What the people did, they put a long wall up on the streets. They say, nobody sell on that street there. They build an overpass. You come from the other side, you get to the market, you go on the other side. Big market, but nobody sell on the street. So really, they said they could build fence right on that road there. The stores inside there, everybody behind that fence. Nobody sell on the road. Douala, they could do the same thing. The last one is the market. When things are not planned, people do things hastily or for political convenience. This is what happened. Look at red light. The government said they moved the people to build market when it rained, the water come up. How do people stay there? If you are the engineer, if the government would have studied that place and do the right investment, the marketer would not be complaining. But we saw a picture of it, they pour the water holding almost to their knee. How can someone stand that kind of water to sell? Then the government said they build market for the people.
All right. Liberal Terry, you want to make your final? What's the take-home message?
I don't have anything. Good night.
You know, tonight is Friday now, so.
No, that tomorrow go here will swing.
No, by this time it's already.
Oh yeah, it's boiling already now.
Okay, so is the way you want to go now so quick? Okay.
And smell it. Go ahead.
Terry, what are we taking home? And I will be showing this stuff here. And then final message, Terry.
Yeah, a lot have already been said, and all of that. We just wait now to see the prospects from the discussion we have had. Like the first discussion we had that ended up in a bloodbath or American, and you know. But however, we hope to see these things that what his name the Pape have been talking about. We hope to see all of these things coming to fruition. But it's very important to look at the sanitation stuff. The sanitation is very, very important for Liberia right now, because I think most Liberians suffer from malaria and typhoid. And I want to believe the reason for that is just because of dirt. Just because of dirt, you know, dirt pile everywhere. So,
Terry, and there's no sewer system in Liberia working since 1989.
Right. Just imagine when you're reading Mr. So in the capital city,
the sewer system in Liberia is not functioning.
Between Randall and so, you see the feces rolling down in the city.
Coleman Hill, Meglin Street and Coleman Hill.
Right, that place there, the feces.
That was in the case. It's really bad, now.
Yeah, it's worsening because
from 1989 up to now, the sewer system is not functioning in Liberia.
Yeah, the sewer system is clogged. So I really don't know what water and sewer really doing. You know, because all those pipes under there are connected. And like take for example, right? Those waste can be turned into something else for us to benefit.
Fertilizer,
but I don't know.
In Fairmont, that used to process fertilizer. They used to that place there.
Yeah, you know, and I think when the one process, one waste disposal that in the whole entire country, I think we got only one waste disposal area. When you go in, when I was there, when you go in across the bridge, across Jamaica Road Bridge, you know the first bridge, Jamaica Road Bridge. When you cross that bridge, when you're going on the right hand side, there was a waste disposal. They had the stuff that those guys used to do it. But I don't know if those places are still working anymore. But Liberia, too much. Too much.
They were not extended to a building. They were trying to build
cover
the swamp. So they just putting they were just taking the garbage and just putting it to cover the swamp. They want to cover the swamp. That's what they were doing.
Okay. Sister, you have anything to say?
There's just one last quote from Richard Freeman that I hope we all continue to keep in the back of our mind. That human being here. Remember that lady who filmed that mob justice against that guy that was accused of stealing?
Yeah.
in our deliberations in Liberia, in the way we do politics, the last few years, we've managed to dehumanize other people in order to treat them as lesser. If I call you sedition, that gives me a rare card to insult you or treat you as lesser. If I called you, partisan or ANC, or it happened during the war, when I call you Kran or call you Madingo or call you Gio or Nimba, I am then not able to see your humanity. And I can pass by people killing somebody else because I can say that person is an author. It's not like me. So I just want to end by quoting quoting Rachel Freeman and say that human being there. If we can all just continue to keep that in the back of our mind as we disagree with one another, that we are all humans and we are all just we want best for Liberia, we all just disagree on the way forward. That human being there. That's how I want to close out.
Okay, guys, what a fascinating conversation. So we're going to be back here at the Liberal.
Yes.
What, are you with us tonight or what?
Yeah, I am. I mean, everything being stated already, and they're all on point.
No, I call his brother name. That's why you see he going by his shell. He
I
want
just
him.
don't see us wasting time anymore. Let's bring this show to a close. So
You're not in charge, oh.
Yeah.
You're not in charge, oh.
This?
You are not in charge.
So let me share with you guys here too. Let me do a quick screen share, but I think and to our wow, what happened? Where's the screen share? Let me see here. Okay, all right. To our viewers and listeners. Okay, we have our official website. Let me see here. This is LiberiaPublicRadio.com. To use org and all of that. I mean, so most of the thing, international news, everything you're looking for here. Now you see here, I want you to see. Hopefully, it's okay. Let it come down. Okay, you see where it say LPR Live. This is a radio icon. If you went on the website. If I were to hit this one here, you're going to, let's see here. Okay.
Then beside the subsidy that the international community was giving to them, your Tamakoki, then they had, I think, UNICEF or whatever.
See it? So programs, let me just pause it. There's a way you can pause it. There's a volume control here. You can bring it down here. You can carry up. And once you hit this play button here, whatever programs that we are having, live programs, you will hear them live on this network. This is the total, man. You know, there was sometimes one kicking up, but then I look at somebody, they are home. I had a home.
That is Pongo Pan God.
Yeah, but if there are another case, they may be gone long time.
It's too greasy.
So, folks, you can also, that's the easier way to listen. And you can leave that and browse and do whatever thing. It will go off. There's a program, music, songs. So we need some different, the Lama song, the Bella song, the anything about art that reflects the culture of Liberia. So you get an uninterrupted interlude of music. Subsequently, we're going to be putting the announcement on some different programs, the time it comes on, and all of that. Everything going to be there. So, the Liberal, thank you so much for such. It takes a lot of time and energy. Anyway, and I need to tell you, thank you. That's your job. A board chair. That part of the responsibility that go out and find it. So that one can't be doing yourself anything I come and give you. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Cecil, thank you so much. Legendary Amos George, Terry, thank you so much for your time. The Liberal Progressive, thank you.
But you guys on Tobogis Soda?
Yeah, you coming for it tomorrow?
Yeah, but I want you to send it by Amazon, man. But I already did that. I want
You're
to
not sending nothing. Go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it.
That is the one you can hear. Something to be here.
I will pay your visit, surprise visit. I will pay your surprise visit next year.
Yeah, go.
I'll pay your surprise visit.
So next year, before
December, that next year December, you will pay your surprise visit. But George, you know,
We need to. I think that's coming. We need to find. Anyway, we're talking about behind this.
Terry,
So
Yeah,
maybe
next year,
I forgot something. I
Terry.
forgot something. One of the
Let
audience
me leave it. I'm sorry,
on
Pastor.
this
I'm
show,
just joking.
Nakamu is
I don't
suggesting
have bad dream tonight.
that we set up specific show to honor each of the panelists on here because he think that their involvement in the discussion of Liberian issue is very important, and they are doing a great job of enlightening people. However, he also, being a partisan, he believes that we bring people on here, and if it were not for Sissy Goya, a lot of people are going to be running away with murder in their place here. Your broadcast, he started, you know, like I'm on the stand or something like that. So I try to push back, but of course he accepted. But the main thing is he want also see if we can honor the panelists on here as well. Another thing he questioned was, why is it that what's his name, CDT professor left? This is how he framed it. LPR was able to profile CDC professor for more than 2 years, and we, the community, Liberian community, gravitated towards some of his ideas, and we saw the other side, the idea from the other side. He left, and he owed us, he said, to explain to her why he has not been coming back on the show to tell us what's happening. You're bringing back so he can talk to us. I'm just.
I trust you after January 22nd.
Yeah.
When you come back,
No, he not come back. That 10-year position. So he will stay there.
Just wait and see. And they don't actually Jackson from the 10-year position. Just wait and see. But me, the only thing is though the Liberia. What happened to our number 9? We can't hear from him this time.
Every time I try to get this thing going.
Aaron Prophet, I really don't know.
That Liberia drove him. That Liberia one drove him.
No, on a very serious. The night before the runoff, he called me and told me, Mr. Toll, I said yes. He said, believe me, we got this thing under control. So I said, Aaron, I hope that the people will not dash your hope. He said, Mr. Toll, believe me, this thing is so I think we need to reach out to him. Maybe this thing is affecting him badly. We need to reach out to him.
I will call. Yeah, I mean, exactly. The other day, just for some reason, it went off again because you know, he's one of our regular. You know,
he was not banned from. Nobody stopping from coming. Maybe he's still grieving. So let's get later.
Every time we have that I have a show, I send a link to him and Terry. Every time.
Maybe that way after the 22nd, then
I don't know what was the beef with he and Terry too. Oh my goodness. They did Terry all say
still processing. I'm waiting for him. We'll talk to show face. Now he and Peter one day show face.
No, we're talking to say email.
Please let me take this time. You brought wait on Keter. We don't care. We didn't call you a liar on the show. I saw when you posted the last time in the chat room. We didn't call you a liar. We just told you to put more meat on the bone that you were talking about.
Latin our behind the scene thought. May put it in the chat room. Respond to him in the chat room, baby.
So okay. But let us do the Christmas, the New Year shows. Come next Sunday. Let all the party be New Year Eve on a Sunday, so we can do a New Year show.
I'm having a show on Christmas Day.
No.
I'm having a show.
I got a gallon power. I got a power. Gallon power. One from
one person said they're having a show. Other man said no.
No, because they say, what I'm saying. I got two gold. One from Lufa, one from Bomb.
The Medrick go up. I mean, Terry, you coming to
allow you to go through immigration and then through custom to bring no kind of thing here. What's the name of that thing in the book? What's the name of it?
Yeah.
When am I going to Minnesota?
The man coming to be here tomorrow.
Already.
He's already here
tomorrow, and then he's meeting with the community around, I think 4:30 at the church. Now I asked Terry if he's going there.
No, I'm not going.
When are you guys to be there?
No, he's coming to meet with OLM, and I'm a board member, so I'll go meet with him, but I'm not going to the.
But Terry's supposed to be there.
No,
And you say you're
for
speaking
winner. So because I'm talking for the man, so that me I'm gonna be there.
No. You said, then you said that the last time you were some kind of chairman of some mobilization for Joseph.
Oh, yeah, the man,
Don't
yeah,
put me in
I'm
that position.
out for president 2029. That the man.
Don't put me.
But you said it here the last time.
Who, me? That
Yeah,
I was chairman?
he said I'm out for president 2029 campaign. You the mobilization.
You're good now. You're good now.
I wish.
Good night, guys.
I wish. You're good night, man.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Where Okay, folks, we want to thank you so much to all our viewers, our follower. Thank you so much for your commitment. Josephine Hill, Arthur, thank you so much. Tuning, thank you so much for being here. Rain Fremont, Vera Fremont, thank you so much. And of course, our own man, Archimo. Yes, Howard, good morning, good evening. Thank you so much. Oscar Dolo. Arthur B. Collins, thank you so much. Nelly Reeves, we really appreciate your time. Abdul Conan, thank you so much. Tape Lanus Jigbe, hopefully I'm calling the names. Eric Goward, Robert Cully, TVK Kamenda, thank you so much. Oniket, Matot, thank you. Eddie. All of you guys, Ed, Ronald, Regina, how you doing? Good morning, Regina G. Thank you so much for always being here. ZMZ Zeke. SAKU. Well, I would just say Waxent Yuri. Of course, Harriet. I would say thank you to Christy, Patrick, Abbott, Augustine. Mohammed, the Liberal Progressive himself, Mark Jallard, Bobby, AJ Lovetti, thank you so much for your time. To Angeline, Nancy, to Ruben, and of course, Teresa, to Dolly, and Fred, our woman from North Carolina there. Thank you so much. Mrs. Marie Yobond, John Sherwood, Anderson Davey, Bridget Janet Carter, Edward Henderson, Angela Nero, of course, Garrett, and all of our great people. Fatimata, what a better lady than never. Battleland, at least you're able to grab the piece of the pie. Thank you so much. Your commitment to this network cannot be overemphasized. And all of you great people inside Liberia, we are not forced, we are not against government. We try to find a common ground where we can have this sort of national conversation. And sometimes we get on one another through the analysts themselves here, because we want to make sure we too should be held accountable. You know, you can support who you want to support, but the bottom line is the bigger picture, and that is Liberia. Because when a country is doing well, we are going to be doing well. Look at my same wave, I won't cry. I mean, it's because it's people, the Christmas is tearing up. People are crying, no money. None of the people now working, they're working, and this is what puts pressure. You can't, it's hard to ignore some cause. You know, it can be relatives, it can be friends, schoolmates, people, and you been together and somebody call, hey, I just need it because I want to eat something. I mean, we've been there before. We've been in the refugee camps and all of that. And you know, when holiday coming, you're finding your friends, old schoolmates, workmates, church mates, organizations, people picking a chance. You try to find some kind of way and make a call. Oh, let me call my man, something will drop. So when these calls come in and say, oh, man, I just needed something just for the holiday or to eat something, man, you know, kids, I don't care if you don't have it, you have to find it. These are many of the reasons that we are talking. I mean, it will not stop no matter whatever the case, but it must be minimized. People work, they should be able to get what they work for. Here we go to work 2 weeks, some people weekly, people on salary, whatever it is, bi-weekly. You don't go to CEO to go as your deposit, your money goes strictly to your account and you take control and do whatever you want to do. You are in charge. That's the kind of system that we want in our country. It doesn't matter how much, whatever work they're doing, they are so satisfied with it, but they must be paid. That is not happening. And you are a living witness. Some of you are already sent to the extent that you don't even have the money again to get on to start the new week work for gas money. It's just hard to ignore. And that's very, very is a concern. So all what we are doing, sometimes when these things happen, we want to make sure that the writing is okay. We are hoping the Joseph Boycott administration, they will also be held accountable. Not just to people to say things, it must be practicalized, it must be put into action. And I've said this, he will be tested by those same very people that think through him, because of that, he's where he is today or he's going to be president. So people always get the ability to test people's temperament and whether you are decisive in making decisions. Yes, okay, that's understandable. The Liberal, you can go ahead. Yeah. So we got to make sure, and I hope all what he has said, he as the leader will take the lead, because you as a leader, when you take the lead, you set the bar, you set the standards, and those that work for you, they will follow suit. But when a leader becomes the first person to compromise the rules, the law, and begin to change the game, the rule of the game, and one do it like a preacher man, then all your folks that you're bringing in are going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be doing the same thing. So we hope that wisdom will be given to him. And people are going to put him to test and let people pay the price for it. We are noted of doing that. Oh, that my man, that my papa, we're from the same place, we are partisan, blah, blah, blah. No. The law is the law. It should not be selective. We've been down this route before. Folks, I want to thank you so much for your time, for your commitment to this network. We don't demean people here. We intend not to leave no voice behind, and we'll always do that. Until then, have a pleasant evening. If this is your first time, go to our Facebook page, Liberia Public Radio, follow YouTube channel, to go on the official website. You're going to have the audio version, to the DJ version, the musical version will turn up. You're doing any other work, chill, do whatever you do. Go to our messenger. If you send us suggestions as to how we can enhance our capacity, things that we do, things that we're doing you not like, let us know. If there's something that we can work with, we are liable to do that. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.